The Burqa-Hulagu War was a turning point in human history. For the first time, two massive Mongol armies turned their devastating tactics on each other. The vast resources that could have been used to conquer Europe, or Egypt, or India, were instead poured into a bitter, endless fratricidal war over the Caucasus Mountains. In the winter of 1241, the end of the world arrived on horseback. Across the frozen rivers of Eastern Europe, an army unlike anything the West had ever seen was annihilating everything in its path. Hulagu's campaign was a terrifying echo of the early Mongol conquests. In 1258, he unleashed utter devastation upon Baghdad, the cultural and intellectual heart of the Islamic Golden Age. The caliphate was extinguished in rivers of blood and ink. Hulagu then marched into the Levant, seemingly poised to push down into Egypt and wipe the Mamluk Sultanate off the map. Once again, the Mongol war machine slammed on the brakes. Hulagu, deeply invested in the looming succession crisis, took the bulk of his massive army and pulled back toward Persia, leaving behind a skeleton force of perhaps 10,000 to 20,000 men in the Levant. This was the opening the world had been waiting for. In 1260, at the springs of Goliath in the Galilee, a place known as Ain Jalut, the Mamluks of Egypt rode out to meet this weakened Mongol vanguard. Led by the brilliant and ruthless generals Qutuz and Baibars, the Mamluks did not just survive. They lured the Mongols into a trap and utterly destroyed them. The Battle of Ain Jalut changed the world. It wasn't the first time a Mongol army had lost a battle, but it was the first time they had been decisively crushed and failed to immediately return to avenge the loss. The psychological spell of Mongol invincibility was broken. The Mamluks had proven that the apocalypse could be fought, and it could bleed. At the exact same time, a second equally destructive war erupted in the West. Hulagu, ruling over Persia and the Middle East, found himself at war not with the Muslims or the Christians, but with his own cousin, Burqa. Burqa was the ruler of the Golden Horde, the Mongol Khanate that controlled Russia and the vast steppes north of the Caucasus. And Burqa had done something unprecedented. He had converted to Islam. When Burqa heard of the destruction of Baghdad and the slaughter of the caliph by his cousin Hulagu, he was furious. In a geopolitical twist that no one could have predicted, Burqa Khan of the Golden Horde formed a secret alliance with the Mamluks of Egypt, the very men who had just slaughtered Mongol troops at Ain Jalut. But why didn't Hulagu return with his full might to crush Egypt and avenge Ain Jalut? Because the Mongol Empire was finally tearing itself apart. Following the death of Mongol Khan, a devastating civil war erupted in the east between two of his brothers, Kublai and Arik Boke, over who would be the next great Khan. How did this civil war change history forever? Tap the related video link below to watch the full episode on Chronicle of Ages.